Yeah, hi everyone. Now we are going to discuss about boot process of the Linux server. So boot process of the Linux server is very important in work environment as well as interviews. Why it is important? Because if the server is coming up in between, if it is stopped somewhere to come up, so you need to fix why, you need to identify why the server is not coming up, why it is not booting properly, why it is not starting all the services within the system. So you need to identify and you need to process for that and you need to troubleshoot. That's why we need to understand whether the system is coming up or not properly, like that. So that is the most important thing we need to understand. The second thing is whenever you power on the system, that is the Linux server or Windows server or any server like computer. So whenever we start that, so there is a lot of processes it is doing in behind. There is a lot of steps it is doing in behind. So those steps are like, for example, so one is the bias state. Bias state. So you need to remember this, you need to by heart this. So if someone asks you what are the different stages of the boot process. Then you need to understand, first of all, what is boot process. That means whenever the server is rebooted, it is doing lot of steps behind. Okay, the first step is BIOS, basic input output system. BIOS means basic input output system. So this is the first stage of the system. So in this stage, what it is doing? In this stage, what it is doing? That means like whenever you power on the system is identifying some devices. So power on self test. The word is saying power on self test. Whenever you power on, it is testing all the components. First step one. It is testing all the components connected to the system. That means printer, mouse, and keyboard, and what other devices are connected to the system. It is checking all are connected properly, all are connected properly or not. And it will display printer is not connected or keyboard is not connected, mouse is not connected. Like that, the system will display the message. Who is doing all this job? In computer. That means there is a bias. There is a bias. So basic input output system. So this will take care about all these power and self-test operations. So that means what exactly this the bias means. If you open the computer anytime, inside the computer there is a small chip that is the bias chip is there. It is having the some battery and all this is always running and it is the hardware based. It is not even, this is not even in hard disk. This is not even in hard disk. The hard disk, the operating system is sitting in hard disk, but the system is not at even coming to operating system level. The first bias level is only testing all components are connected properly or not to the system, and then it will identify how many hard disks are there in your system. It will identify how many hard disks are there in your system, and in these hard disks, which hard disk is having the operating system, it will identify. And in this hard disk, there is a partitions like C drive, D drive, like different partitions are there. Which partition is having operating system is identified by the bias, and it will give the control to the next level of boot process. That is the next level of boot process is the MBR, master boot record. So that is the one important. You can see BIOS stands for basic input output system, simple word. So then perform some system integrity. All integrity means all devices are connected properly or not. Search, load and execute the bootloader program, and it look for the floppy or CD-ROM where the operating system is connected, and it will give the control to the next level, that is the bootloader. So this is really, really important and very easy. I hope everyone understand what is boot process. what is the first stage of the boot process, what it is doing in first stage, how it is operating in first stage. So everyone understand. If anyone not clear about this, let me know. I will explain one more time, because this is really important in interviews. So that is the boot process related. So any questions, anyone, any confusion, please go ahead. So that is the first level. The second level is it is giving the control to the bias, MBR. MBR means master boot record. What is master? What is MBR? Master boot record. What is this master boot record? This master boot record is the one of the first sector of the hard disk. You have the hard disk. That hard disk is having so many um, sectors inside. If you see the sectors means, like here we need to understand the disk structure. So I will come to that point again. Okay, disk structure means, like, see, for example, you guys see the hard disk, right? Everyone see might see the hard disk, how the hard disk is there, right? So that means, like, a hard disk, a Google. So you can go to the HA hard disk. So you might see this hard disk anytime, right? So if you go here, you can see a lot of hard disk sometime in your computer, or you might see definitely the hard disk is looking like this, right? So if you see the hard disk structure inside, and you might see the CD also. CD means like the CD also you might see, right? So this is the hard disk. Inside the hard disk, it look like this. Outside it is they covered with some cover, but inside is some lot of magnetic tapes, and it is included one drive. There is a motor inside. That's why you are getting some noise always. These days SSDs are not SSDs are uh, So, so this is just like magnetic tapes, and nowadays SSD disks are coming. So that we will talk. But wherever there is a sector, tracks, cylinders are there inside the disk. Imagine this is the hard disk inside. So just you just see one more thing, like SSD also. In SSD there is no kind of motor and all. So these are latest hard disks. These are kind of power, semiconductor devices, just like our pen drives. So these SSDs are always a little bit costly. Just for all of you, the exercise is just to go through the difference between SSD and uh, HDD whenever you get some time on today. Okay, so just some understanding of knowledge. So that is the one thing. Then coming to, you might see in the CD drive, right? Just for understanding. So CD-ROM, you might see the CD-ROM. If you see CD-ROM or something, oh my God, nowadays the 100 pack, okay, 100 pack is $46. Now no one is using, I think, right? So like $7 is too much. So that means, like, CD. If you see the CD here, like for example, you guys are understanding what's going on, right? So that means, like, the CD-ROM, you understand. Hard disk, how it is look like, you understand. If you see the disk inside, so if you see the CD also, so before, once you brought that disk, it is a raw disk. You might be formatted sometime disk, right? Whenever you format, we'll talk about this next week. Whenever you format, this whole disk is split into the some group of sector, track, cylinder. Sectors, tracks, cylinder. So that means this each sector, one sector is the one where you can store the one character like that. So whenever you format it, then it is created the sector, track, and cylinder. Sector means, if you imagine this is your CD-ROM or hard disk inside. So each pointer, one pointer, if you imagine one pointer, this is the one sector. This is the one sector. So if you add multiple sectors like that, that is the track. That is the track, like so many tracks called as a cylinder. So just outline, that's all. So that MBR master, why we are concentrating more here? Because our master boot record, MBR master boot record, is in first sector of your hard disk. One day this is corrupted, then if you are updated in another sector, it is going to corrupt the data. You need to use the first sector to to repair this MBR. So MBR means master boot record. This is going to, MBR is the master boot record. It is going to identify this thing. I hope everyone understand what is MBR. MBR is the first sector of the device. It is holding the booting information, and it will start bootable information booting, and the server is starting like that. Once it is started, then it is giving the control to the next level of, that is the grub. Before going to grub, please go ahead. Any questions here? Anyone? Any confusion here? Everyone okay? At least you guys need to talk actually. I'm wondering. Why do you guys need live training? I will share the recording, right? Can I? Everyone understand? Or
Yes, sir.
you got it or no?
Yes, got it.
You understand, right?
Yes,
So, yeah.
to understand.
But yeah, you don't have any questions, right? Okay, perfect. Now coming to the third stage, the bias give the control to MBR, MBR give to the control to the grub. MBR is giving to control to the grub. So that means the grub is the next stage of the server booting. So in this stage, what it is doing, so if you see sometime you might see installed operating system, Windows and Linux in the same system. So this grub is maintaining two kernels, like which operating system you want to start and which kernel you want to start. Like that we can define in this stage. So based on the kernel, you can select and it is going to start automatically. So that is the that is the grub. Grub means Grand Unified Bootloader. It will maintain which operating system need to start along with by default. Suppose if you are not rebooted, if you rebooted, then by default which operating system you want to come. Suppose if you are not selected, how many seconds it need to wait, and everything information is in this file. So that is the grub etc. There is a configuration file here, that is etc grub.conf is the configuration file. This file is maintaining the all this information. We'll talk about that at least. Okay. Oh, grub is the one of the place where we can select multiple operating systems inside one system. If one server is having multiple operating system, so you can select which operating system need to start in your system is grub. So that is the most important. So before going to kernel, any questions, anyone? So the next phase of the grub is kernel. Kernel means it will start the actual programs in your system. Actual programs means like actual operating system it is going to start. So that means it is picking up the operating system from the grub, right? So grub is decided which operating system need to start. Corresponding to that, there is a init program, initial program. That init means initial program is initiating to boot the system, and the server is starting automatically. Once the server is started, then it is giving the control to init phase. Then init phase is the most important phase here. What init phase will do? What init phase will do? So the init phase means it is the main initial program. So it will start what programs need to start and how it is going to start. And one more interview question is, what is the first program in Linux? That is init program. Init program is will start the initiating the booting process. Once it is initiated, then it will go to the last stage of the system is run level. Last stage of the system is run level. This run level define on which what services you want to come. Just like in Windows environment, sleeping mode and different modes are there, right? Running mode and hypernet mode. In the same way in Linux also, there is a different run levels 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 run levels are there. We need to understand about these run levels, what run level do what. So before that, any questions here about before run level up to this part, just go through this and the bias you understand. Then MBR, first sector of the MBR means master boot record. It is located in first sector of the bootable device. So then it will give the control to the grub. Grub is having multiple operating systems, like how much time it need to wait for the next operating system. So like that we can decide, and based on that we can proceed, and we can like mostly like 5 seconds we will wait, right? So like if you see while booting the system, it will take 5 seconds to um, uh, continue that. Okay, then the kernel will load all the actual init program, and that program will initiate the RAM disk and it will start the system. Then there is a init phase. In init phase is the actually there is a what are the different run levels it is coming, and what run level your system need to start, and everything is decided in this. Everything is decided in this. Then coming to run level programs. In run level programs, we need to understand, in run level programs, we need to understand what is run level 0, run level 1, run level 2 and all. So before proceeding these run levels, any questions here, anyone? Please go ahead, quick.
Nothing, sir. It's
Nothing,
clear.
right? So then run levels. Run levels means like the run level is decided on which run level the system is coming up, where to come system will start. Everything is decided in run level. Imagine there is a server here. So let me create one server and I will show you run level also. In run level program, it is doing everything actually. So 1 second. Don't think what I'm doing here. So this is different actually. So yeah. So now coming to here, my system is ready almost. So I'm creating the one Linux server in AWS. We can operate with AWS Linux server. Okay. So then yeah, I think look like we have already one server. So I can use this server to show practically the booting process related stuff. So here my system is ready. So already I have the server. So there is a boot level, run level means like first of all, the topic is run level. Run or you run level. What is run level? Run level define how the system is available to you. That is decided by run level. So what are the different run levels we have? First of all, what is run level? Run level define how the system is available to you. That is the step one. Then run level two is like how many, I mean, question number two is how many run levels we have. Run levels are like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 run levels we have. So then how to see on which run level you are in? How to see on which run level you are in? Suppose if you go to the Linux screen, then UNA who hyphen R will give you on which run level you are available. So now we need to understand the difference between different run levels. Difference between different run level. So here run level 0 means you can power off the system. Note it down. Power off the system. Run level 0, you can power off the system. Run level 1, it is the single user mode. Only one user can able to log in into the system. That is single user mode. Sometimes we can say this is called as a maintenance mode, where whenever you want to do some troubleshooting, then you can log in into the single user mode, because if other people are working, you can't do maintenance. So that's why we need to bring the system into the single user mode for troubleshooting purpose. I hope everyone understand this. As a Linux admin, you need to bring the server to maintenance mode, and you can do the maintenance of your server. That is the run level 1. So that is the most important part. So please go ahead. Any questions here about single user mode? This is power off. You want to power off the system. There is no button, nothing, right? You need to enter into the single user mode. What is the meaning of that? The single user mode means here you need to type init 0. You want to go for init 0. You want to go for one mode init 1. You want to go for multi the second 2. Like that, init is the command to enter into the run level. Init is the command to enter into on which run level you are looking for. So what is the command for uh, to enter into the run level? Init is the command to enter into the different run level. So if you understand that, then suppose what are the different run levels? What is run level 0 now? How to power off the system?
Zero.
INIT 0, you can power off the system. Suppose if you say INIT 1, what is the meaning of that?
Single user mode.
You are going to the single user mode. The meaning of single user mode is troubleshooting mode. So why we are going to single user mode for troubleshooting? Because yeah, go ahead.
To reset the root password or something like that, we need to go to the and any
My question is why we are going to single user mode for troubleshooting purpose. Yeah, because if people are working on that, you can't troubleshoot. That's why we are going to single user mode by using this or -s also. Yes, also there is a single user mode. Both are same. But yes means it's kind of maintenance mode. Nowadays both are they that in latest version they make it both are same. Now you are very clear about what is 1, what is 0, what is yes. Then 2 is the multi-user mode, but there is no network services available. So there is no network service available in run level 2. So any questions here about the boot process? Go ahead. So we are talking about boot process, right? In boot process, we are talking about run level. So the questions and answers, the topic is boot, process. Okay. In this boot process, we understand what is boot process, why we need boot process, what to do boot process. In that, we are understanding about various run levels. So run level 0 is power off. Run level 1 is single user mode. Run level 2 is multi user mode, but no network, no network connectivity. So remotely people can't able to log in. There is no network. That is the multi-user mode. Then coming to 3 is the multi-user mode, multi multi-user mode. But multi-user mode means at a time many people can able to log in into the server. That is the meaning of multi-user mode. So I hope everyone understands the difference between single user, multi-user, and run level 2, run level 3. If anyone any confusion, let me know about this. So, but here there is no GUI, no GUI. You can't get the GUI. You will get only the command prompt like that. So that means that is the 3. I am in 3 only. How to see on which run level you are in? How to see on which run level you are in? So you can say who hyphen R is the command. Also RUN 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 level is the command to see on which run level you are in. So this is the another. This is very much important about run level. Okay, so please try to understand. If not, I will explain one more time. Okay, so what is the default run level in Linux? Is the 3. You can remember default run level of the Linux is 3, that is the multi-user and no GUI, not required GUI for the company's point of view. That's why default run level is this one. So what about the fourth run level? The fourth run level is not yet set for anything. It is for R&D. That means like you want to test some run levels in this. So you can use this run level 4. Run level 5 is the multi-user with GUI. Same multi-user with GUI. With this is the one. So this is the most important thing we need to understand. So please go ahead. Any questions here? Anyone? Any confusion? Yeah. Anyone? Any confusion? Anyone? Please go ahead. Everyone with me now? So that is the one. 6 is rebooting the server. You want to reboot the server, reboot. So that is the most important. Whenever you want to reboot in your system, you have the keyboard, mouse, you can power off, you can press the button. There is a multiple things. But here there is no keyboard, nothing. How to power up the system? How to reboot the system? That means reboot means you can use the reboot command or reboot reboot command, or you can use the init6. That's all. If you type, that's gone. Your system is rebooting now. So it will take a 1 minute like that. So then the system will come on. So that means now you are in the meantime we'll talk about this rebooting. So now you are very clear about what is boot process and what are the run levels available, what is the default run level, and how to see on which run level you are in and all. So each run level related, there is a run level, run control. Suppose if I say init 0, why it is going to power off? Why it is going to power off? What is the reason? 0 means power off, how you make it, and the power off and all. Suppose I want to enter into the run level 3. So what exactly the meaning of run level 3, and what are the services it need to start? Suppose I want to start my Oracle service along with system. How to set up that? I want to reboot the server. So for example, how to set up that? You guys understand? So suppose you have the server with you. In that server, there is a Oracle is running, database is running. Suppose one midnight the system is rebooted, but you want to start automatically the service also. So that on which run level you need to configure that. We need to understand these type of questions in interview. So that is the most important thing we need to understand. So please go ahead. Any questions here about all the run levels meaning? If you understand that, I will explain about each run level, what it is doing. That means if I say INIT 0, what is going on inside? I will explain now. So before proceeding, any questions, anyone? You guys are good, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So then coming to if I type INIT 0, then my system is going to restart. Okay, it is still coming up look like. Otherwise, let me go to my AWS and let me stop and start it. Usually it will come up. It will take some time. Sometime it will take more time. Maybe I am doing some changes in the system. Because of that changes also it is taking time. So let me power off and power on the system, then I can go to post stop. Yeah, now the system is coming up. Then let me take the IP address. So any questions, anyone, please go ahead about this. So just give me 1 second, I will be back. So it is still coming up. Let me wait for a 1 second, 2 seconds. Okay. So anyone, any questions like?
If you are stop the instance and running once again, it getting
Mhm.
the different IP address or it's the same?
This is different IP address, but in company we are using static IP address, so we no need to worry about that. That is AWS related stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but in company we will not get different IP because we are using static IP address for that.
Okay.
So now I'm just making the font bigger, so it's easy for you. So now you guys are understanding what's going on with the sales server. So now coming to. So if I go to INIT 0, what exactly it is happening? There is some internal programs are running. Those are the run control scripts. Those scripts are etc rc 0.d is the directory. etc rc 0.d is the directory. It is maintaining. It is maintaining all the. It is maintaining all of your run control scripts. That means what need to start, what are the services need to start, everything is decided here. So that is rc0.d, rc1.d. Here some programs are running. So these programs are starting with there is a run control scripts. If I execute 0 or init, init 1, 2 like that, if you say like that, what will happen in behind? Like to run to switch from one run level to another run level, and init 0, init 1, init 2, init 2, like that you can type the run levels. Okay, so whenever you type these run levels, then what will happen exactly? What will happen in backend? That means like there is a run control scripts, run control scripts. There is some run control scripts are running in the backend. Those scripts are available in etc directory rc.0 means zero related. So the run level 0 means zero related control scripts are here. So that is the in the same way rc1 dot rc dot 0 dot 1, so dot 1 related. So like that there is a run control scripts in each run level. So that means like what exactly it is doing behind. So these run control scripts will do some these directories are having some programs. Those programs are doing this job. If I say run control script 6, for example, run control script, this is the reboot. That means if I say init6, it is rebooting because there is a directory etc rc 6.d directory. In that directory there is a programs rc6.d is the directory. In that directory there is a lot of programs here. If you go to that program, then it will stop. I'm going to the directory cd cd slash rc rc6 dot d is the directory. If you go there, you can see all killing scripts. So that means like it is rebooting the services. If I go to the slash etc rc3.d directory, etc rc3.d directory, all run control scripts 3 related. These are the programs are having 3 means startup, right? Startup scripts will start with S, killing scripts with K. That means whenever you are powering down the system, you don't need to remember that scripts and all. You just need to understand, oh, there is a programs. Whenever I type in86, then the system is rebooting. How? Because corresponding to this, there is a directory. In the directory, there is a lot of programs are there. Those programs are going to bring down the system and bring up the system. That is the reboot. Reboot means it will restart the server. So if I say run level 0, that means power off. What happened exactly? You can run init 0 to power off. Then what happened exactly? etc rc 0.d directory. In that directory, there is a programs. Those programs are going to bring down the system by stopping all the services. By stopping all the services, it is bring down the system. If you see kill scripts like cloud this thing, if I say open this program says like inside the program, you don't need to remember, you don't need to write this program, this is system defined. So this is the first boot Python script is it is calling, and that program is rebooting the server and all. So that is the if there is no services or any services are not running, then it is stopping automatically the server. But we don't care about these programs and all. This is even I don't know, don't worry. So that means you just need to understand some programs are running here. Those programs will take care about all the booting related stuff and all. Also, suppose along with this, you want suppose whenever you say init0, if you remember the server is having lot of components inside. Like for example, you are operating system and there is a database also, there is a application also. You remember this, right? Application also. Some then the application is running, some other services are running. So if you shut down this, directly if you shut down, this application may be crash or because it is in middle of the operation, then it is going to shut down the this thing. Otherwise, the database may be crashed because you suddenly power off. Instead of this, in the same rc0.d, you can put two more programs. You can add along with these two programs. You can add two more program. One program is shut down the application. one program is shut down the database. So that first application is shutting down, then database is shutting down, then your operating system is shut down by these programs. Then your database is not corrupted, your application may not corrupted, and everything is going to smooth. I hope everyone understand what is the meaning of run level. And here there is a run control scripts. These scripts are like startup script as well as killing script. In startup script, all start related programs are there. In killing scripts, all killing scripts are like stopping services like that. So that is the main aim of the this thing. So please go ahead. Any questions here about what is run level? What are the different run levels before going to troubleshooting something? Okay.
Questions.
Anyone? Any?
So you
Yeah.
mentioned like you mentioned like we can add two more programs, right? Like shutting, stopping the
Yes. You
application.
can add the multiple programs here.
Okay, so is like Linux admin going to write those, or like how does that work, sir?
No, the database guy, he knows how to stop the database. The application guy, he knows how to stop the application. Then he will provide the application and the database, the scripts, and we need to just give the link to this location. That's all.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So that means like those programs should run from the database side only to stop the database, but it should execute it from this directory.
Okay, so
So that's why
coming.
we are giving the link between our directory, that is rc0.d to AWS directory.
Okay, so
No,
Linux
sorry,
admin is not gonna do anything
the
here.
database. Yeah, sorry.
Got it. So Linux admin is not gonna worry about that, like those writing those
No,
scripts,
we
right?
just need to configure. That's all.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. You understand the meaning, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Huh? Both? Okay. So, any questions, anyone, about boot process related? So, then troubleshooting. We'll talk about troubleshooting. Like in case your server is not coming up along with your this thing. So then um, then how to troubleshoot. Suppose while booting system itself, okay. So there is a different stages. In BIOS stages, sometime your BIOS may be corrupted. Then how to troubleshoot. Your boot device may be corrupted. How to troubleshoot. Your programs are some malfunctioning and it is not starting the program. How to troubleshoot. Your hard disk is failed. How to troubleshoot. Like we need to understand various issues related stuff in boot process. So before proceeding, so anyone any questions here? This is